Father, you know all hearts. You have chosen your servant for the office of bishop. May he be a shepherd to your holy flock and a high priest blameless in your sight. Keep watch over the whole flock in which the Holy Spirit has appointed you to shepherd the Church of God.
One of the most enduring memories I have had when we were younger was every morning at about 7 o'clock, the bedroom door would slam open and the bishop would come in. He was probably only about 10 years old. And he used to say two things: sweet corn or peanut butter. He used to make lunch for all of the family, but his repertoire used to only run to peanut butter or sweet corn sandwiches. He used to look after us so much that family joke used to be that Pat should have actually been our dad and Dad should have been the bishop. Worryingly, Dad used to agree with that.
He was a very fine student. In fact, I would say the qualities you see in him today are the qualities he had then. They were very clear, like his welcoming smile was always something that he still has, his sense of humour, and his kindness and sensitivity towards people.
I really thought when we were very young that he might have grown up to be a traffic cop. And we thought later when I was a teenager, no, he'd make a really good bishop.
I don't think I was always destined to be bishop, no, not at all. And I remember when I was asked, I was really deeply troubled because I wasn't my own preferred candidate by a long shot. So it took me a couple of years actually to get my head around the fact that this was what I was being asked to do.
He's very likeable. He's a wonderfully likeable person. His face in repose is always smiling. He's one of those people who constantly smiles. He's a man who I think is very much at peace with himself.
I'm grateful for the fact that he is so human, that he has a huge capacity for friendship and empathy and compassion.
The young people, they just love Bishop, eh? And I think it's just because they can just have a conversation with him, you know, just one-on-one. They respect him, but it's also that accessibility that they can just talk to him about anything, and they know that.
I've not seen it done so well as done by the bishop, where you can hear a pin drop, you know, in a hall, in a community with 2,000 rangatahi in there, and they're just enthralled and they're all listening. They've either got their iPhones out taking photos and recording it, or they're just listening. And that's a real gift, if you like, to be able to capture our young and to keep them in your palm of your hand.
In him, his kindness and always looking at the best in people is his strongest character trait.
A priest whose heart is really for his people will always be welcomed and trusted, and people know that this person's genuine. And that's been my experience too, moving from parish to parish, just what a privilege it is to be a priest, that there's an openness on the part of people to confide in their priests and to trust them and to love them.
What some people think about bishops is that they're sort of far removed, or they're perhaps a bit isolated and unsure what's really going on. That's not the case with Bishop Pat. He actually is deeply connected into the lives of people in Auckland.
He has to sometimes make big and difficult decisions, but as the chief shepherd of the diocese, his first role is being a pastor to people. Now, better than anybody, Bishop Pat knows that, and he lives that consistently. It's part of who he is.
He's very sincere in what he says to everybody. He has wonderful empathy for people. Because of this empathy, he has been deeply hurt by the problems that he's inherited that have been part of the church for the last 20 or so years. And it's really hurt him deeply to feel the pain that people suffer.
He has this great ability to transcend, I guess, the pressures of any particular situation. And I guess the key to his ability to be able to do so is his deep faith. He really does believe what he preaches.
Auckland certainly has changed over 25 years. Population growth has been enormous and very rapid. The new migrants who make up such a vibrant part of the diocese now, they do share the faith that I also was nourished in, and often with the warmth and the enthusiasm that they bring to parishes, they're revitalising our parishes.
It's extraordinary to think that anyone could do, the level of service that he's given for such a long time, and I think people will look to that as an example and say that, despite everything that's happening in the world, it is possible to serve. It is possible to point your life in the direction of a higher purpose, and that's really what Bishop Pat's example's been for so many of us.
I wish everyone had a boss like Bishop, because he's cool.
Everybody, and people not just in the Catholic Church, but people outside the Catholic Church too, they know there's an essential quality of goodness that radiates from Pat Dunn.
Pope Francis talks of as priest smelling of the sheep, and that whole shepherding role is very much something that we appreciate as a diocese in him. Great shepherd. The shepherd guides, the shepherd protects, the shepherd looks after, and essentially that's the role of the bishop. He is priest, servant, shepherd, teacher. He's many things to us.
Bishop Patrick James Dunn, you're always the greatest bishop, and you are my role model for 25 years. Thank you, and God bless you.
We, as young people, really appreciate that you listen to us and that you've been wasting time with us. It really means a lot. Thank you.
Nui te aroha me te whakauta me nā manakitanga. A te atua, kei a koe pihopa I te rua, te kaumārima o ngā tau o te whakatōhangatanga hei pihopa. Aroha nui.
Well, they've given me the opportunity to say something, so you know I'm not going to turn it down. I just want to say, which I already have said, but now say it directly to you, that you are an amazing human being, and it's a privilege to work with you. I really love the way that you care for your priests and for all of the people that are in your life. I hope we continue to work together for a long time yet. Many blessings.
Bishop Pat, it's been a privilege and a pleasure working with you. You are a most wonderful employer, but more than that, you're a wonderful friend and mentor, and thank you very much for all the kindnesses and help you've given to me in the work that I do over these years. I only hope that the contribution that I've made to your work is some small way of showing you that how very much I appreciate who you are and what you do, and thank you.